Hey guys, Zix here. Time for the next weekly analysis. Before we get into it, I want to have a quick recap of what I thought was going to happen last week through the week and how it lines up with what actually happened, just to see how wrong we were or how right we were. So, we were about right here-ish, right? I think we were somewhere around here during that video. And I said, don't be surprised if we come up, come back down, and then re-enter the range and then try again to leave the range. I was right. I was right about that. Okay. So far, so good. I also thought that by the 16th or the 17th, we would be leaving this accumulation range. I was right again. That's good. We're 2 for 2. Also, I said, if we break this level here, we retest it, and then surpass it. This is your confirmation for a long entry. This is where it gets a little rough. So I entered a long here, and I considered TPing up here, but it was so weak that I didn't. And I rode this all the way down here, and then I rode it all the way back up here, and then I had a level. Actually, what ended up being What ended up being the POC, I actually set a stop loss in profit at this line right here. So the second we passed it right here, it went right through. Bam! I took profit. It could have possibly gotten a little bit more, but it ended up turning out to be a pretty good trade. I have re-entered around in this area, by the way, because I felt like we would go back up, and it's looking pretty good so far, but I want to break this high here. I might consider just setting a stop loss right here. I'm a little concerned that this is going to come down here, but we'll get into that. So I was right, but it wasn't great, right? Because in my prediction, I thought we were going to keep going, right? I mean, obviously, there's always going to be retracements along the way, but then when we got to this distribution here, we got stuck here, right? So we continued here. And the reason why is because I don't think this distribution ever actually finished. I don't think it ever completed. And so this was a filling event. So if you look at the overall volume, there's been some volume here, and then nothing, very little. This is what's called this filling a low volume node from all this stuff. Sometimes that happens. And then usually you would continue up, right? It didn't happen. We had this news that brought us down the oil. I forget what it was. Oh, it was Biden talking about regulating crypto. That's what pushed this down here. So yeah, I set my TP at the value area low of this volume range here, and then I cashed out. It still was a good trade, but obviously didn't quite go as fast as I thought it would. So where are we from here? Where do I think we're going from here? And I apologize if my TA on here is confusing. If you guys are wondering what these things are, please take a look at my volume profile video in the description below. It will up your game if you're not using these and you don't know how to use them. So by all means, do so. I would like to make now my prediction on where we're going from here. Right now, I'm watching this, and I'm looking for it to develop a trend line. Now, I know what you're going to say. Trend lines, really? Trend line? Trend lines are not necessarily they're not gospel, right? You can count on them a little bit if you have confluence. Like right here, we have this volume right here from this range. So there's a little bit of confluence. There's a good likelihood that we bounce from here and continue up. Probably more like, I need to change the color, you can't even see this. Probably more like, this kind of guy here. And then maybe we do this and then we do this. Let me change this to black so that we can actually see what the hell I'm doing. So that may be what we do. I am looking for us to continue this upward momentum here. We have one of these guys happening. So I'm looking to continue this, sort of like a so. I am sticking with my original thought that we go to the upper end of this greater overall range. Let's go to the daily so we can take a closer look. I'm still of the opinion that we will go to the upper end of this range, possibly break through this and then come back down, or just get stopped right here at the automatic reaction that's created here and can then break down. I don't think the world is ready for Bitcoin to go up here yet. I really seriously don't. Right now, the long-short ratio, once again, working our way up. Remember what I said? I don't know if it was in that micro analysis, that last video. It might have been in a different video. But I wanted to see what the long-short ratio did every time we hit one of these spots. So when we go like this, and then we retrace, right? I want to know what the long-short ratio is doing right here. Is retail bullish? Is retail bearish? Retail, unfortunately, I don't have it up. I have it right here. Fortunately, retail is starting to turn bullish right now. So let's go to it. Take a look. Yeah, 1.5. It's not terrible, but it's starting to. It was basically neutral not very long ago. Okay, go away. Thank you. You know what? Let me switch to a longer time period so we can actually see it. Yeah. So look at this. We were nearly neutral not a day ago. All right, right? So all of a sudden now we have a little retrace. Retail starts to get bullish. That's going to slow this thing down. So up here is going to be less and less likely the more bullish retail gets every time this thing retraces. Now, if you kind of look at it, it is kind of doing this kind of thing. It definitely looks like it's going to do this kind of thing. So this is a common pattern where you have this like slope, right? This sloped arc happens all the time. See how it happened here? You have this sloped arc. It's also another phrase is losing momentum. So it loses momentum, and then you can see it kind of did. Bam. So this is something that's very common in trading. You see this kind of fractal play out quite often. It's actually looking like it's slowing down a lot more quickly than this one. And generally that could mean a healthier uptrend. So it's definitely something to look out for. But what can happen? So that's my prediction for this week. This is what I think is going to happen. Today is Monday. I think by the end of today, we're going to be above this range here. It's hard to, let me go back to hourly because it's hard to tell. You know what, let me go 4 hour. So you can actually see what the candles are doing. By the end of today, I think we break past this range. I think we're in the 42s to the 43s. Very likely we see another retrace, probably back to the top of this range or the top of this range. And then so going into the following days, I do think we continue this uptrend. And I think we're going to probably range the rest of the week at this level. I don't see us breaking this level here. And so by, 25th? Yeah. So happens to be Friday. By then, and then we probably, on Friday, I think we probably go down, maybe back down to here, probably range for the weekend. And then I think going into the next week, I think maybe it's time to start coming back down here. I mean, we're only trying to do a week, right? We're not trying to do 3 weeks at a time. This is just what I think we're going to do for this week. I think the general outlook right now is bullish. I do think that's the way Bitcoin is going, and I do think that's how it's going to be for this week. I think this week is going to end on a green weekly candle. So let's take a quick look. It's one thing I didn't do last time. So last week ended on a huge green candle, right? This week is obviously already starting out red, but I do think it ends on a green in this general area here. So we're going to keep an eye on that, and then we're going to go from there. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a like or a dislike if you didn't like what I had to say. If you disagree with anything that I have to say, feel free to leave a comment in the section below, or if you think I'm pretty, let me know. And then, we also have a Discord channel. We are still offering all premium signals for free. We are not at 100 members yet. So if you would like to see what the signals are like, come on by. I know it's not really signal season, right? We're looking for alt season, and then the signals are going to really be jamming. But you really want to learn how they work. before we get there. Learn how the signals work before we get to alt season. That way you're ready. Because when alt season hits, baby, woo! You're going to be wishing that you were on our premium service because the signals are going to be fire. They're going to be fire. But that, my friends, is going to do it. I hope you enjoyed. We got some other social media links in the description as well. Twitter, Insta, all that good stuff. We post a lot of news and stuff like that on the Twitter. Hope you guys come on by. Take it easy.